Hello, I'm Jerry Van Dyke. Please make a donation to the Carnegie Council's annual fund. It will directly support programs such as the video you're about to watch. These are very challenging times. Please keep the voices for ethics alive. Go to carnegiecouncil.org. Thank you.
There are, I think, two big mistakes which we in Europe in particular are now making, or risking making, as it were, seriatim, that's to say one after the other. The first mistake was actually to bring in a great many immigrants from the Muslim world and then not properly integrate them into a liberal secular society, not to teach them the languages, the civics, the history, not to give them career paths and opportunities into our society. And if you go to the banlieue of Paris, if you go to Bradford, if you go to Kreuzberg, you will see that problem. And then when we woke up to that problem, we turned round and said, oh, well, the way to deal with this is what we're going to call multiculturalism. Multiculturalism meaning in practice that we say, okay, you have your culture, we have ours. You give your daughters into forced marriage, you do genital mutilation, you don't believe in free speech, you go on doing it your way. And what is more, we are going to empower and fund self-appointed leaders of the so-called Muslim community, something which very dubiously exists, to lord it over their own communities. So we actually empowered illiberal leaders in our own big cities and societies. And this was a terrible mistake. I'm glad to say in the last 10 years we woke up to this mistake, but then unfortunately people have swung right across to the other extreme, and we're now in risk of making almost equal and opposite mistake as represented by someone like Geert Wilders, which is to say, we are at war with Islam as a whole. The only good Muslim is an ex-Muslim. Not only must you speak our language, abide by our ways, don't even think about building a mosque. Don't even think about erecting minarets. You remember the Swiss voted to ban minarets. The headscarf, tear it off. You've had a little sample of this in New York recently. Perhaps we could come back to that. In the discussion period, I regret to see that in some respects you've been becoming a little European. I would urge you to remain truly American and true to the original founding principles of the United States in this respect. This is the equal and opposite mistake. Because if you say to our Muslim fellow citizens and simply residents, the only way to become a European is in effect to cease to be a Muslim, to give up central tenets of your faith, then they will not become Europeans. They will not integrate into our societies. And the problem of radicalization will get much worse, and we will have more terrorists.